Mix90 versus tmanplays here. Really getting into game number 2. And this is a beautiful looking map. I'm still astonished every time I load into it. It's T-Man here on the left side in red, bringing along his forces. And
yeah, it is a beautiful map, this one. It is, I think it is still, I think it's possibly my favorite map in the game right now.
so, yeah, what do you think about the picks and bans here? What do you think about the ban of second UK and 39th and 35th? All pretty standard. Third US. Do you think it would have been better for Team to pick that or ban it and then pick 24th? Like, I feel like
I think there are areas on this map where I guess the tanks of Third Armored could be quite scary. And obviously it can mount a lot of them. Aircraft as well is pretty strong there, and it is quite an open map for aircraft to engage. So having the F-15s would be quite nice. But I mean, equally, 24th can be very strong in the air as well, and you've got the Eagles as well, or the Eagles with the laser guided bombers, and that makes a huge difference. I think on this map, we've seen other people use those very effectively, and I imagine T-Man will be quite destructive with them.
yeah, engineered dragons. It's gonna be interesting as we will have M1s versus M1s. The M60s of 8, I feel like will be quite helpful to deal, especially with the Bradleys on the other side, and also help out as infantry support. In general, M60 is still a pretty good tank. It has been nerfed a bit over time, but still one of the best tanks on the lower price range. And what do you think about the matchup in general? Which one do you think is the stronger infantry division for the US at the moment? 8th or 24th?
I think purely based on infantry, I would say that the 8th probably still wins out. But equally, that said, the 24th has a lot of tools at its disposal that the 8th just don't get, like the Eagle.
Yeah, Strike Eagle for sure, quite nice. Eyehawks can be nice to deal with that. We will see how well they will go. When it comes to choppers, yeah, you have a Apache there as well. On the other side, you only have the smaller attack choppers in. You have some Blackhawks for your arrow rifles though, which is nice. Whilst on the other side, you only have the Hueys for 24th. And we don't see any of these here at the start. So this should be able to capture the north point here with the Blackhawks. It seems like in general, Mix really likes helicopter infantry. We saw them in game 1 with the commandos. We see them again here now with the arrow rifles. I wonder if they will work out this time around. Wonder if that means he will start with F-16s here as well. As that might be interesting.
I mean, I definitely expect to see, hopefully, some very careful airplay from Mix, because obviously he's on the back foot when it comes to the air superiority fighters as far as they go in the game itself. The other thing I always worry about on this map, and thankfully Mix isn't falling into that trap at the moment, is getting bogged down in the city. A lot of people get bogged down in there with infantry, but thankfully Mix isn't sending anything right to the front to try and contest all those buildings.
Yes, I feel like Teeman's side is slightly stronger, though it has a bit of a disadvantage in the south at the beginning, as you can get into Zulu a bit faster, but afterwards the buildings here are a bit more numerous than the buildings on the right side, and I especially like the points that you have here, like the line of sights from these from this forest and from these buildings over here that you have towards the other flank. Plus, you can see their reinforcement route a bit better than they can see yours. It's open territory on both. If you have some nice line of sights, you can spot it from the other side as well. But I feel like the left side has a bit of an advantage there, though it's still a rather balanced map and it can be pushed everywhere. Plus, I feel like pushing into the rear zone here is a bit easier for the right side if they want to go through the hard push in the south. But it's a hard one. Like, trying to push the rear zones on either side is not easy here. And it's gonna be interesting to see who will do it. Also, really looking forward to what the community will do with this map once we have the map editor tools, both in zone layouts and maybe a couple of changes regarding buildings and so on. as I feel like the base layout is already pretty strong, and a couple of adjustments here can make this a nearly perfect map.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what the community does with the map editor in general. I think we're going to see some great adjustments to maps. I'm certainly going to be having a go at Rift. That is my #1 map to fiddle with.
Yeah, I'm also really looking forward on how many points you're right and how many points you were wrong in your latest YouTube video regarding the map editor and all the guesses you did there. It's gotta be interesting to see.
It's fun to play guesswork with these things sometimes, and then find out that you're completely wrong. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully, we will see a I was wrong everywhere or I was completely right video next week already. Wait, if they launch it then, it's gonna be.
I mean, they said they were going to, so I'm holding them to their word. I'm expecting to see this available.
Yeah, and for everybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, Eugen announced last week that we will get a map editor for Warno. If you missed that, it was hard to miss because it was hype all over the community, but maybe you missed that. And it's supposedly coming next week already with its first limited alpha version. It won't be having all the tools in yet. We won't be able to play on the maps yet, but we will be able to change them. And yeah, Bandana did a YouTube video. If you haven't followed Bandana's YouTube channel yet, do that right now. You find the link in the chat right now. And yeah, you find the link to that video as well. Get over there, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and especially give it that subscription so you see whenever that sexy British voice brings out something more.
I'll also try and do some kind of very basic guide for the editor when it releases, once we get our hands on it and can fiddle with it, just so anyone can give it a little go. But I suspect it's not going to be super straightforward initially.
Yeah, we will see how that all goes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing guides, seeing the first genitalias painted on maps and so on as well from the community. That obviously is the first thing that everybody has to do with a map maker. Letting the 10-year-old kid out of them. That's at least what usually happens when you give those hidden messages and so on. It will be interesting. But let's get back into hot action right now, as the game has begun here now between T-Man and Mix90, and I have to turn back the in-game sound, as you otherwise can't hear stuff. Back there. But yeah, interesting setup here with the arrow rifles and the Cobra coming in for Mix, trying to secure some early ground. Only a normal Cobra for T-Man on the other side. And then a lot of infantry. Not a single tank around here. Phantoms, double Phantom start here on the other side.
F-16 on the other side.
Phantom having similar missile loadout, being a bit less agile though, and also relying on AIM-9Js instead of AIM-9Ms. Not able to stop the Black Hawk there in the first run. It's only one F-16 though. And one of the big issues of the F-16 is that it has few missiles. So, yeah, gets a missile onto each of the Phantoms, gets taken out though, but at least allows the Black Hawks to get through. Another F-16 coming in. Won't be able to catch the F-4Es here on the way out. Might be able to catch the next one though, and might be able to catch the Cobra.
Nice kill.
Yeah, nice kill on the Cobra. Good kill on the Cobra in the North by tmanplays as well, though. As we see Phantoms coming around. Black Hawk moving around. Toe 2 trying to deal a kill to the M60. Ooh, HE Phantom coming in. Arrow rifles and engineered dragons trying to deal damage to each other here. M60 will be able to kill off the engineered dragons eventually. Those fire support tools that the M60s give you cheaply here could be pretty big for 8 in the long run. Like being able to pick off engineers and so on from long ranges, having a good HE dispenser there is nice. Aito, though, is dangerous for them. And that one looks like it might be right on target. The Cobra really getting good territory here for T-Man in the south. That stopping the infantry of Mix90 was really big.
Yeah, that made a huge difference because I was wondering how that was going to go because T-Man sent quite a lot down there, to be honest. So Zulu could have gone either way, but T-Man did a good job there.
Aito going down. We have a Phantom with HE now coming along. Stinger gets a hit in. No F-16 in the skies, though. But I feel like with the Eyehawks and the Stingers, Mix in the long run might be able to get a really good AA network up here. We have the first M1 IP here coming in for tmanplays on the left side now. The tank top end will be going to Mix90 though, as he gets some M1A1s eventually as well. Currently only printing out M1s though. The base version.
T-Man's doing a good job at harassing with his jets at the moment as well. That Phantom HE managing to clear something at the other side as the Jäger of Clara, but it's out of the way. The path to Bravo is kind of open now.
Yeah, but little forces there for T-Man just yet. Currently in a fight with Mix for the control of Echo, as M1IP gets the kill there on an M60. Engineer's Dragons get killed off on the other side though. And the infantry of Mix90 is pushing forward. No ATGMs around here for him though. No mech rifles with Dragon 2s, which would be quite dangerous for the M1IP. It's only loss on these mech rifles. As the M1 Abrams here gets hit by the Dragons. Southern infantry for Mix trying to get a bit more ground. But the Aito gets the kill onto the military police with the M67 over there. Engineered Dragons versus Aero Rifles. Interesting fight as well. Blackhawk gets killed off before it can finish off the sniper. But Mix on the +1 here. His 2 M1s pushing back the M1 IP as well. And he's starting to win the infantry fight in that territory.
Yeah, starting to look pretty good there for Mix. He's focused down. He's doing a very good job forcing T-Man back. The M1 IP command is well out of that position now. Though is able to provide fire support.
Engineered Dragons getting hit here. And Engineered Dragons in the south still holding the ground. Ooh! Phantom actually gun running the Stingers down. That's not something you see every day. That's quite risky behavior there. Eyehawk so far not so lucky with its hits. Does miss 3 out of 3. Could use some resupply now. Chaparral coming around as well. As we have an Apache on the other side. The National Guard Apache has arrived. Still has a Hellfire under it. Gets stressed out quite quickly, but it's still a super deadly weapons platform. And it gets its first ATGM flying, and that is really bad news there for the M1. Should smoke off, should get the hell out of there. Has more ATGMs coming along. Stinger. Ooh, Apache, good reaction there. Gets to land, F-16 going down, and Mix once more losing the air fight here. Phantom's doing a good job. And Mix...
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm quite impressed with the T-Man is maintaining some control here, using the Phantoms rather than bringing in any F-15s in all so far.
Yeah, I like that though. I use the F-4s as well instead of the F-15 air superiority fighter, because the version that you get in 24th is really expensive, but you get so many AA Phantoms. You get so many per card, and you get 2 cards of those, so you can really spam out the air superiority fighter and just make it a numbers game. And especially against F-16s, they're pretty cost efficient as well. So I like that approach from T-Man here, and it's working out so far.
Yeah, very much so. But Mix has the ground control, completely in control of Echo, +2 currently. He's looking pretty good right now. The question is, how is T-Man going to pull this back? And there it is. The Strike Eagle is on the map.
And the Ihawk still out of ammo right now. And the Chaparral will try to get a shot on target. Will get one missile out. It will miss though. As Phantom HE coming along as well. M1 Abrams does bite the dust. Strike Eagle setting up for another target. Stinger still needs to unload. A good couple of Stingers on the way. Chaparral coming along as well. Strike Eagle coming in for the Chaparral. Chaparral gets one hit. The Stingers might want to unload here. Ihawk still reloading. Chaparral goes down to it. Stinger got a hit into the Strike Eagle though. That's quite important, as the reload time is not that long on the GBUs, but the laser guided bombs will get back quite quickly, but the repair time will take a while. So that F-15 is out for a bit. Stinger hit here, really, really key here for Mix to be able to buy a bit of time and get a bit more AA out there. Stingers now against Phantom. Phantom goes down as the Ihawk finds a hit as well. Gets the final kill onto the Stingers though. So AA still a bit of an issue here for Mix90, but at least finds a kill against one plane there.
Looks like T-Man is slowly setting up for a bit of a push into the side of Foxtrot with a couple of Bradleys coming in there with Fireteam Laws.
I was
long-term goal.
I was about to say I'm a bit surprised by the lack of Bradley so far, but here we go. They finally arrive onto the battlefield here, and they get some ATGMs against an M150 here immediately. It fires back, but he will get hit here by the TOW. He will blow up into smithereens. Bradleys find their first victim there. M1A1 engaging against TOW 2s and military police over here. The TOW 2 though, quite dangerous. M1A1 smokes last second there. Mix once more up in points, but I'm not so certain about the trade part of things. Ihawk now under fire by the TOW 2, or is it the supply helicopter? It's the supply helicopter actually that gets killed off there. Ihawk finds a kill against the Phantom, hit against the Phantom. It still got its bombs off though, and it doesn't find the kill. But with 9 damage, the Phantom at least will be out for a long while. TOW 2 once more on top of the M1A1 though, finds the kill there. Oof. And yeah, that's the killing power of a TOW 2. Really great accuracy combined with amazing damage potential as well. Strike Eagle now coming on top of the Ihawk, as it was spotted. It's out of ammo, and tmanplays starting to take Mix90's AA here apart, and the kill onto the tanks really, really key as well. Yeah, finds the kill onto the M1A1 here with the F-15 Strike Eagle as well. That's the dangerous part of playing against 24th. You need to keep your AA alive, and if you can't keep your network up there, then the Strike Eagles will just blow you into the Stone Age. Bomb you.
Yeah, I mean, the Strike Eagles are amazing, and played well, they just pick you apart.
I'm really surprised to see an M270 around here. It nearly got the kill there, but not quite. I mean, it's not a bad map for it, but in general, in 1v1s, they're hard to make worthwhile. And it's also an interesting moment to bring it in, as the front line is in a bit of trouble. And I mean, 320 points extra invested into AA here right now maybe could have changed the outcome of those fights. Like,
yeah, I think that would have been a better purchase, would have been anti-air at that point. Because, I mean, this is the thing with artillery. You have to pick your moments on these battles, and I'm not sure that was the right time.
Yeah. We have some TOW Cobras coming around, but there's no AA to protect them, so I feel like this is a missed investment as well. The first thing that Mix90 in my eyes needs right now is an AA network again, because without it, everything else will just get picked apart by the overwhelming numbers of air units here from T-Man, and this might be a big problem here now. Jäger Aufklärer pushing in the south together with mech rifles.
And over in Foxtrot and towards Bravo, T-Man is now in the point. There are some Cobras coming in to try and deal with that, but T-Man's looking pretty good over there.
Yeah, no stingers or any kind of AA in the north whatsoever. F-16s obviously didn't work out so well yet either in this game, so Mix in a bit of a pickle in that regard, and I'm not seeing how the Tow Cobras will survive the F4s coming for them. I don't think they can hide. They miss both toes as well, so they didn't even kill the Bradleys before being jumped upon here now. They need to try to go low. We'll try to do that now. But I believe they still are seen here. Yeah, might need to land completely, but then they are open to Bradley counterfire. Bradley's...
Strike Eagle came in Echo and managed to take out another M1A1 as well.
Tow Cobra number 1 goes down. Tow Cobra number 2 pretty low as well, trying to disengage. M1A1's being lost to Strike Eagles really painful as well. And yeah, there's not enough AA here whatsoever. Stinger got another hit against the Strike Eagles. Those have been pretty reliable, but there's just too few Stingers, too few AA here. Stinger number 2 coming in, and Mix is looking pretty hard, pretty rough here right now. It's looking like a really good game for tmanplays once more.
Yeah, unfortunately, even just looking at numbers on the map, obviously T-Man is slowly just outnumbering what Mix has on the field.
And 1 IP.
And the Phantoms can just roam the map right now.
Coming in the north will get the tick in favor of T-Man here, as it will capture the northern territory. And the Mud CP most likely in a bit of a pickle here as well in the center. Still no new iHawks coming in, and I feel like that's the biggest issue here for Mix90. I feel like he should have had linking up iHawks from the get-go, like getting them out as early as possible, so that even if one of them gets bombed by something like the Strike Eagle, the rest at least will be able to kill that off and make that an unforgivable trade here for T-Man. But the number of AA was always in the area where it could be overwhelmed, and that is never a great situation for the defensive player. And this is really the strength of 24th. Like, their ground forces are good, but the big thing about their ground forces is that they are affordable and that they allow you to invest into what I would say could be the best air tap in the game, with those F4Fs, and the F4HEs, and especially then the Strike Eagles on top of that. White Results helping out with Seed as well.
Yeah, I mean, the air tab is fantastic, and the Strike Eagles are by far the most devastating unit in the game because their ECM's so high as well.
Engineered Dragons coming around here, Tow 2s, having a really good killing field as well. I am surprised that we never saw any ATGMs from Mix90 here in this game, as this is a pretty good map for ATGMs, and the Tow 2s for tmanplays for sure did their job. But we mostly saw tanks here for Mix90, and I guess that's really pushing into him being an aggressive player, liking to have the mobile attacking units. But then I don't get the M270, which, by the way, has sit idle since we saw the first salvo of it, and that's obviously not an effective usage of artillery whatsoever. If you already want to bring it, then you need to keep it constantly reloading, constantly fire, so it can pay off in the long run. But Apache now pushing in the north, M1 IP pushing in there to capture the northern territory, and I don't really see a way for Mix to come back here.
No, I think this game's already over, unfortunately. I do see the F111F laser guided bomber came in there, but immediately got seen off by the Chaparral. And now the Phantom gets the kill.
Yeah, another air loss there. No F-16s around here. They air fight the air from the get-go going in the favor of T-Man, and T-Man just kept being in control of it. And yeah, the Stingers here, too few in numbers to really put a dent into the enemy air force. They keep on damaging the enemy, which prolongs the reload time, but it's not enough. And we now see the Strike Eagle coming around here, killing off another Stinger. Pretty inefficient way of using the Strike Eagle, but at this point, it's just to destroy everything that Mix has, and inefficient trades are still, or it's not really a trade, just inefficient kills are still kills here for Timon right now. So he is fine with it.
Yeah, I also think there's an element of he just wants to get rid of the AA net, and there's the game.
Yeah, GGVP here. Mix surrendering game number 2, and oh my goodness.
Wow.
I knew Timon was ahead, but I didn't quite see that coming.
No, I didn't. That was wow. Sometimes when you get to the end of a game and you see the kills and losses, you just a little bit lost for words because it's not what you expected at all.
What the hell just happened with the stream?
Did it? Oh, it died.
Not quite sure what happened there. It should be back online now.